I guess that does bring up a question real quick for you guys, and you can. I don't know if you want to throw this up as a poll in the chat also and see what they think, but Bobby Kotick, right? What happens with Bobby Kotick in this situation when Microsoft acquires them? If it goes through like it looks like it's going to, personally, for me, I think he gets his golden parachute and disappears off into the sunset. Is how I see it happening. Like they're gonna quietly kind of shoo him out and get him out of there. But maybe maybe there's other plans. Maybe he sticks around for a minute until they get a good feel for where everything is, and then they see him out the door. So
Mm.
what do you think the timeline is for Kodak? Do you think it's immediate, or do you think it's a little ways down the road, Sour?
Honestly, at first I thought immediately, like you did, that he would immediately, be terminated, get out of here. Especially with everything that has been going on with him before, before the deal even was mentioned, or when the deal initially got mentioned, and they started the process. But now looking, forward all this time, everyone has kind of forgotten about that. And I'm not saying that Microsoft would want to stay with him long run, but at the same time, you have to give him credit. He has been running it for a while. He has been making the money. And at the end of the day, Microsoft is a business. So I think they might hang on to him at least a few months, let's say 6 months, until, they're able to, like you said, make that transition into someone else, and or another team, and maybe they can see how, his workflow is, and kind of copy the good things and try to, separate from some of the bad things we have heard.
You know, when I hear like this kind of stuff and everything, like for example, how this project just got like thrown to the side. It's interesting how many cool side projects could there be in Activision Blizzard that could be revived after this deal? I mean, look at that idea of third person Call of Duty type, kind of like Uncharted stuff like that. Can you imagine that coming out? I mean, that would be awesome. You also got what's this game called? I forgot. StarCraft. The one that was going to be a third
Yeah.
person. All those games, that pretty much are side projects that have not been talked about or anything that could come back alive and could be something big on Xbox. So it's interesting after this buy, could those things come back to life, be revived? I mean, I hope so they do, because man, there's a lot of stuff they have in there that needs to be dug up and recovered and put on into March.
Well, and imagine even doing something like going to Toys for Bob, I think was the name of it, right? And being like, hey, you guys were working on Crash Bandicoot. Go back to Crash Bandicoot and work on that. Like working with the Neversoft guys and being like, hey, we love the work that you did on Tony Hawk and doing all that stuff. Get the band back together. The folks that are still there, put them together, work on this, and start bringing out some more games. Like I would be perfectly fine with them doing another Tony Hawk 1 and 2 type of thing, like how they did Tony Hawk 1 and 2. Give me Tony Hawk 3 and 4. Like do a remaster or something like that while you're kind of getting new folks familiarized with the game dev and stuff before you launch a new one. If you're trying to get familiarized with those engines and stuff again, like I guess the biggest question will be, what has been mothballed? Have they maintained the records and all the databases for those games and stuff? Hopefully, there are things that are not lost to time in the process of all this. Like, who knows if someone went in there and was like, well, we're not going to do anything more with this IP, so we're just going to kick this stuff to hard drive somewhere, and then it goes missing or gets lost to time. Fingers crossed that's not what happens. But crazy with the question on Kotick, when he leaves, who do you think they'd put in his place? Would they put someone like a Rod Ferguson or forgetting the other guy's name at the moment. There was another one that came from Microsoft that bounced over there a while ago. Um,
Oh,
I'm forgetting the name.
he's at Blizzard,
I'm
right?
sure. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, and I cannot remember the name at the moment.
Mike Ibarra.
But
Mikey Ibarra, yeah.
yes, Ibarra.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Dark.
So do you think it'll be one of those guys? Since they're already there, they already know kind of where things are at, how things are running, or do you think they'll put someone else in charge once he's gone?
I'll put Mike Ibarra all the way. That's who I
Yeah.
would put. All the way, all the way. Yeah, and Bobby Kotick needs to go. Needs to go right away. I mean, if this deal
Yes.
closes, bye bye. They need to say bye bye to him right away.